Do you want me to wait till you start the live video?
No, you can go ahead, Jenna.
Okay.
Hi, Jenna.
Hi, hello.
Okay, we're live, Diego.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Thank you for tuning in. My name is Diego Florez. Good to see you guys. I'm a poet, artist, musician in the Denver community, and I'm here to share this painting I've been working on for the last couple of weeks with you guys. So I was asked to start this with the intentions of Earth Day and the Earth Day event, and then now we're live. So super thankful to join you from my studio and this piece that I've been working on. So is Solar live with us as well?
Yep, I'm right here.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? The whole fans here to watch.
Hey, what's up, Sandy?
Hey.
So it's so good to see you guys. So good. So how are you doing, Solar? How's the
good.
live stream been going?
Oh my gosh, exciting, so dope. I've gotten to like meet some cool ass people and like, I don't know, I feel like I've got to experience a lot that I never would have if I hadn't jumped on this opportunity.
That's super cool. What cool things were happening on the stream? Just to fill everybody else in that wasn't here, you know?
Yes, on Earth Day Live, so on Wednesday, we had our fashion show, we had our Denver fashion show, and that was so cool having the fashion show and kind of getting to, what else did we do? Oh, we had tons of cool speakers. We had DJ Caleb, DJ Yusef, who's like an eco hip hop artist, who's really cool. We got to hang out with Marlo on that same night, showing us some poetry, some really cool, dope young poets here in the Denver area, in the Colorado area, got to share their gifts with us. And then we had a fashion panel on Wednesday night. We had another like fashion show panel, kind of just talking with the folks that participated about like, why did you choose to do this? What kind of inner glow did this bring out for you? And why do you think that sharing your beauty at this time is so important? And on Thursday, we had our adult divestment day. Julia can probably speak more on that. And on that day, I did, I hung out with a guy named Argan, and we were hosting the Earth Day Live 2020.org. We're kind of hosting it, introing folks. I got to intro Marina and the Diamonds, and he introduced Ziggy Marley. And Julia, you want to speak on Thursday?
Yeah.
What-
Yesterday we had a really amazing morning panel we talked about the Colorado's money pipeline, how banks and insurance companies are financing. Oh, Jesus, sorry, that's my dryer. The fossil fuel industry, and we had some frontline activists come and tell their stories and how they're fighting back, and was an amazing inspiration. And then in the evening, we had a really awesome group of experts talking about divestment and public banking and how we can use those solutions to stop the money pipeline. It's pretty awesome. And all the recordings for folks who weren't able to participate in anything until now, on our 350 Colorado Facebook page and on the Colorado Climate Strike Facebook page are all of the Facebook Live recordings. So if you missed anything, you can see it all there, and it'll all be on our website too.
Awesome, that's so cool. Thank you guys so much for saying and doing what you're doing. Like you guys have already said, this event has been so enlightening and awesome because it's with the power of community and the will to make it happen, we can make it happen, and I feel like these times are a big push in that direction, and we've already been going there, but now it's full speed ahead, If you guys would like to, anyone would like to follow me on Instagram, here's my Instagram, at Leon de las Flores on Instagram. And then you can check out any of my art there and music, as well as Venmo is at G Flores Arroyo, if you feel so ever inspired. For all of the COVID stuff, I'm a poet, artist, musician, and an educator in the Denver community. And it's kind of crazy now teaching online, kind of like this, because it's kind of like a recording that we do, and then we send it to the students, and then they check it out and do writing prompts and art prompts from the computer. You guys, if you have kids at home, you guys know. So if you guys can help financially in any way, that would be super helpful. So now to this painting. So this painting is 8 foot by 8 foot. Right now it's just kind of standing up on my studio wall. It's 2 panels of 4 by 8 plywood, and it is 3/4 of an inch plywood with a smooth surface. I just started painting on these plywood sheets, and I love it so much because I can get more surface area with less money. So I'm able to make beautiful commissions and pieces for people's homes to fit the wall the exact right way. Whereas pre-made canvas or a pre-made canvas has a certain size already done, and then also it's cool figuring out how far it comes off the wall. So I've made a couple just recently. The pictures are on the device that's streaming. But you can check them out on Instagram. Couple abstract pieces. If you are in Denver, I also just finished a mural on Broadway. It's right where the Rainbow Crosswalk is on Broadway Avenue in Denver, Colorado. I was super thankful to be a part of Hope Tank's Hope Tank's Community Brick and Mortar Board Up is what they're called. They have community businesses come together and pull their followers together to put money together to board up their windows on Broadway while the COVID stuff is happening, just to ensure the safety of their merchandise and their store. And so if you'd like to continue to contribute to that, it's called the Hope Tank Community Brick and Mortar Board Up, and that's for sure. So you can check them out on Facebook. They're also commissioning artists and paying for murals to be put on the plywood that they put up. So I think I can pull out a picture on my phone for you guys of the mural that I did there. A lot of my work has the message of not only reunifications of the Americas, but of water being life and us being the vessels for that. So it says Love Chew in the middle. And it has some cactuses and some water. And then up here it says, ooh, it's kind of bright. It says water is life. So the
That's so
piece
beautiful,
kind of
Diego.
thank you so much. The piece kind of came together because originally the store owners, they have a vintage store, and they do like Americana kind of Western wear, kind of like denim stuff, you know, and they travel in their van to get a lot of this stuff and then bring it back to Denver and sell it for the price that they want in the city. And so through that, they've done a lot of traveling and a lot of just connection with Mother Nature, you know, camping in remote places and stuff like that in their van. And so I definitely wanted to do a scene for them. And they also sell cactuses like in their store, so I definitely wanted to include a cactus. They gave me a couple of cactuses, super thankfully, after painting that. So I've been super thankful that even after COVID, like I'm able to still be my authentic self, artist self, and still be able to be commissioned. So if you feel called to continue my journey as an artist, please visit me on Instagram or Facebook. But Instagram is where I post most of my art and stuff like that. So thank you guys. So back to this painting. So the main shape that we have here is the main set of shapes, I should say, is the canvas is a square, 8 feet by 8 feet, and that has a border of blue, and the border of blue represents water, because water is life, and without water, we're not able to exist. So within that square, there's a circle, and this circle represents Mother Earth. So still working on it. Quite a bit of pain and quite a bit of time to get to this point. And honestly, it's taken more time than what I've thought. I've contributed about 20 hours to this piece, and I think that I'm gonna maybe go in about another 20 hours or more. And it's just like a beautiful story, and I feel like it's a beautiful, I feel really called to finish it, you know, like I started it, and I'm like, I feel thankful to finish it and feel like, not like a burden, you know, like it just feels like super beautiful. So including some of the other symbols that I have in here. So it's Mother Earth right here, and she's kind of like dipped in the mountains, but also has her hands in the water here. and the water's like coming down, and she can feel it, you know, in her hands. Let me see. Let me grab this. Pull it closer. So here's her hands. She's like hanging out behind the mountain, you know, in the mountain. And then the water to her hands, like the root system. So also, so this panel on this side has an eagle here at the bottom. And so that eagle represents the North America. So like here as well, it's gonna be like kind of like desert land, you know, like kind of like desert mountains and stuff like that, you know. And she has the tree as her braid, and then it's like into the roots, you know, into the eagle. So the eagle, the reason why the eagle is like this, like down like that, is because it's going in a circle clockwise with this condor over here. So there's a condor here. So, and that represents the prophecy of the eagle and the condor. The prophecy of the eagle and the condor is a Mayan story that talks about the reunification of the Americas, and the Americas being North, Central, and South America. And so here I did the rainbow. Do like some waterfalls and stuff like that in the background here.
Diego, you're covering the microphone with your hand, I think.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
That's much better.
Okay, so this is the condor here, and the condor is a representation for South America, and the story of the eagle and the condor is the Maya story that is about the reunification of the Americas. Like I said, the condor is a representation for the South, and the eagle is a representation for the North. And so having them flying together in the same sky in the circle is that representation that I tried to include. So I'd like to get y'all's suggestion, because I am still in the process. So here, I'm gonna set you guys up. Okay. So here, in these sections right here and right here, I was wondering if I should do buildings and kind of like just industrial life in general. The reason why I wanted to still include it was because it would be within the square and it wouldn't be within the circle. You know, the circle is representation flowing the way it is, and then I feel like the hard lined, you know, kind of building.
Like right angles. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, but I also think like it's kind of part of it as well, you know, like Mother Earth up to this point, you know, and like I think that it gets tricky, you know, because like when we're creating images and we're creating images with intention, we want to create use the best image to display our intention, you know. And so like the main image that is here is like Mother Earth, the water washing Mother Earth and like cleansing her, you know, her own water. She's like healing herself, you know. And like so like I don't know if y'all can see it, but there's like water coming down from this top part right here. So like the water is like coming down and it's like on her face, you know? And then like on her hands and stuff like that. Like trickles into her veins and through her being.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still working at the face and working out. So like right here as well, I'm definitely gonna do like two like. I was thinking if I'm gonna do the buildings on the bottom right here, then I'm gonna have to do like teepees and hogans and like temescals on both sides, like praying, you know, like prayer smoke coming up. Because like I kind of want like pollution smoke on the bottom just because it's like it's real, you know. But at the same time, it's like how are we how what's the intention, you know, and like where is that going to go, you know? Because if I'm just going to put buildings there polluting things, you know, the direction of the smoke and things like that have to be led into something else, you know, because those where did those lines end, right? Because I am kind of creating like this really big circle vibration and this big circle energy, you know, and like trying to create as much depth as I can with this way, you know, and but also telling the story of the city and but Mother Earth's true story, right? The big story. Because she will heal as she wants, you know, and we don't have no, you know.
I love that. I think it's cool that like you kind of want to bring in like the industrial piece of it, because I feel like I can like from my house I can see like Suncor and I can see like the huge plumes of smoke that are like contribute to like the big brown cloud over downtown and stuff, but also like Suncor's like right in the middle of like right next to the highway, right in Commerce City, right near so many people, and I like that I like that aspect of it.
Yeah, I
So-
really like that. It makes it look more real. It's accurate, you know? That's how we are. I wonder if like you could represent a way that it would show that Mother Earth is also like cleansing that, like maybe like the water is like washing it out or something to be like it's there, but it doesn't have to stay there, kind of thing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I was thinking about the smoke coming up and then maybe like going into the teepee or something and then coming out of the teepee, you know?
Yeah.
That'd
There's
be kind of cool. But I don't know. It's like we're still. That's about 8 to 10 hours from now. You know.
Yeah.
Diego, do we know where this is gonna be after you're finished yet?
Oh yeah. So we're still trying to find a home for it. Honestly, myself, I would love it to go to a community organization of some sort, or a public space. The reason why I would like it to go to a public space and not a private space is just because I would like it to be shared, and I would like youth to see it, and I would like elders to see it, and I would love people to stop people for a second and like figure out or just like, you know, just be like, wow, you know, and try to see all the little motifs, you know, and but also if you have a space big enough in your house for this, you know. So
Yeah.
also like, so yeah, like I would love to see it. Yeah.
I like the idea of like, because you know, there's the concept of like ecocentrism in that like everything is nature, even like us and the things that we do are a part of nature. I like that potential inclusion of the buildings, but like maybe like the concept of like living in harmony or something, like how can we exist without being so destructive. But I like the idea of the smoke going up and coming through and like turning into prayer smoke. But I'm
I
curious
love that.
if other people on this call, feel free to chime in too, you know.
Yeah, I like the ceremony smoke. I love that because it's like true. It's like smoke is smoke and oopsie. It's so important, I feel like, to include that. I think it's beautiful that like that industrial smoke can also come from like a warm space as well. It can come from ceremony, and not all smoke is bad. Just like not all plastics are bad. Like we can find there's so many different realities for us to choose different forms of plastic and biodegradable ways like that.
So this is a different piece that I've been working on slowly. It's kind of been chilling. It was initially going to be a commission for a friend, but I ended up doing a different one for them, and this has just been kind of chilling. But it made me think of what you just said, Jenna, talking about like buildings and like how they can be in harmony, I kind of have been riffing on this idea of like kind of like plants included into the building, so it's like the structure, but then it's like has. Do you guys see that, or is it too
Yeah.
far? Yep.
I know we can see.
So yeah, this is a piece that's been being worked on. One thing I really want to do with this is like going in and creating like layers of stain. So like painting it and then doing like a thin stain on top of all of it so that it can get thrown back a little bit, and then doing more colors within like the same palette so that the colors don't get like just all the same all the time, Been learning a lot from my mentors about opacity and like how to use it. So I've been super thankful there. Zeb1 on Instagram is my mentor. Super thankful for his guidance and his input always. So check his art out as well. Like super beautiful stuff. So it's on Instagram it's ZEHB_1. And so Zeb1, wonderful tattoo artist. Like he made this tattoo on me. It's like an eagle, like a prayer woman, and like a pyramid, and like the sage with the water, the heart cup, the left hand with because it goes to your heart, like the left hand leads to your heart. So just like little things like that he's teaching me, to include into my artwork to say things, and be intentional with the storytelling and who and what story am I trying to tell and why, So I've been super thankful for that. So let's open up Q&A. Like,
Yes.
anybody have any questions? Like initial questions? Something I haven't explained good, or you'd like to know more about?
Did you grow up in a household of creation, like creating things?
Oh, that's a great question. So, well, my dad kind of drew, and he didn't really play instruments, but he sang his whole life. He loved to sing and like DJ, but not like scratch DJ, but more like just play music DJ, And so he always wanted me to like play an instrument or do something because he always felt like it was too late for him, which is completely untrue. I just want to say that for everyone watching. Nowadays, my dad definitely like colors and like does all the things, because he enjoys it, and like sees the beauty in just like unlocking your imagination and like letting it be. It's good and bad is just your idea. It's an opinion, and opinions, aren't facts. So the fact is that art is healing and expression is healing, so use it as a tool for that. And so I've been super thankful to be pushed on a path kind of music and art and poetry. Like I've been making and writing poetry since I was 12 years old. Thank you to Ada Cruz in the Colorado community. He like had an open mic that really inspired me to become a poet and share my words at like, you know, a really young age, 6th grade, and like, on a awesome platform, you know, with encouraging community, you know. So that formula together really set it off for me. And like but also too, Youth on Record was another awesome organization that helped me get to where I needed to be inside myself, like thinking wise and business wise and just skills wise, communication wise. So shout out to them. Yeah. The Denver community is so connected, you know, and like super thankful to grow up with so many resources. Like, so yeah.
So it looks like there are a couple people. Alina, I just saw you came off mute.
Yeah, hi, my name is Alida. Diego, thank you so much for sharing your artwork with us. I think it's super exciting and absolutely beautiful. I had a question about your buildings in particular that you were thinking about putting in. I'm wondering if you were thinking about putting them in like in front of the circle or behind the circle. Yeah.
That's a great question. You know what? Honestly, I've been trying to work on dimensionality as much as I can. So I'm probably gonna put buildings in front of and behind to like really make it look like, you know, and like yeah. So like it's crazy too because I was trying to think of like, because like right here it kind of looks like a pasture, you know. It's like at the bottom of the circle here, it kind of looks like there could be like a house right here, you know, like a farmhouse or something, and then it just starts leading into like buildings, you know, or maybe like the city can be like over there, and then like adobe houses or something, or like, 'cause it's not all like, you know, city, and it's not all. It was kind of hard or not hard, but I had to be really conscious of the shapes of greenery that I was putting in, you know, because like I'm from Colorado, so I started out like, and this is like super Colorado right here, but then I was like, oh snap, like what about like Peru and like Colombia and like you know, and the rainforest, right, like Brazil, and like, so it's like what about those, you know? So it was like definitely some of my first times drawing like jungle vines and like thinking about like waterfalls and stuff like that, and like so yeah.
Awesome.
So this is Michael Neal. We're just thinking about the different possibilities for both the industry on the bottom, but also ways to clean it with buildings that are not, you know, that are not destructive. I'm thinking about the green roof initiative that we now have in Denver, and ways that we can play around with a mix of nature and structure.
That's beautiful. Thank you for mentioning that. That's great. That's a great idea. Maybe like some like solar panels, like maybe I should include like some that makes me think of windmills and like solar farms, and like but that also makes me think of like 5G towers, you know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy, right? Like so
Yeah.
Phone lines.
That's making me think about this concept that we're working on right now, just in the climate movement, of like a just recovery and a just transition, and trying to visualize like, where do we go from here in terms of like integration of positive solutions. So I love that idea of like a vision, you know, like what we could be.
Hell yeah. I'm an architecture student at CSU right now, and I love like the possibilities of like having sunroofs, but also like finding a way that mining for things like solar panels can be restorative, as well as like how can we even just use this tons amount of like sun. Like if you sit outside for like one day, you'll see how much fucking sun there is. Like you'll see how good it is for you, as well as like how much there is readily available using mirrors, using things other than like super, I mean obviously mirrors is like extracting, but like super harmful extracting resources in that way.
I feel that. I feel like sometimes industry gets scary, the idea of industry. Like, one of my favorite painters is Diego Rivera, and like, when he paints, so he was a painter during the Industrial Revolution, and the way he paints the Industrial Revolution is like very gray, and it's like very like it's very gray, and I feel like it doesn't have to be that way, but at the same time too, it's like that's the way it was, he painted it the way it was, and like I feel like that's the other thing that I get scared about sometimes, is that being for real about it, it's like things aren't always super beautiful, and things aren't always but at the same time, like it's the dance, right? It's the harmony of it. It's how the two sides, how the duality that you think of how the duality that you think in is dancing, and like how you choose if it's gonna fight or not, because I feel like there are some people that are so clung onto one side that they put the other side down, when the truth is that we are able to look at both sides and step outside of it itself and recognize it and then move forward, like and so using what little bits from both, because both sides are going to teach you. That's the thing, is that people go for only one side and only get one half of the teaching, they forget the other side, the shadow side, so just the idea and a concept I've been also trying to instill into my life and into my artwork. So I was probably thinking about doing an in Lakesh as well, so it might make it up here in this like top right corner. Like if you haven't seen an in Lakesh, it's kind of like a yin yang of sorts, but it's like a Native American symbol.
It's like this, it's like that kind of. It's like, I always think they kind of like hands to me, like going like that. Any other questions as well? If you haven't had a chance, you can go ahead.
It's that one. Yeah, any questions? Also, I think I can access some of the stuff on Facebook. So it's 350 Colorado that we're on live with.
Yup.
And
Okay.
CO Climate Strike, both. Yeah. We're live on a lot of pages. Yeah. I cross-posted it to like every page I have access to.
Okay, cool. I just want to see if there's any questions there as well.
I can pop over and double check. I think Jenna has been watching some of them too.
Yeah, I don't think we've had any questions necessarily, but there have been a few comments for you.
Cool. What are the people saying?
So, Melissa Ortiz said much love and respect. Yeah, right, like when you're running from north from Uncle Thomas and Auntie Sharon's I feel like you would understand what she's talking about, because I don't know what she's talking about.
Oh, Sharon, she's talking about Tio Tomas's wife.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and that's all the comments on there so far, really. Jessica Lawyer said, thank you so much. This is really awesome. Yeah.
That's awesome. Super thankful for them to come join in and hang out.
Diego, is the environment like a main source of inspiration for your art, or is this a particular piece that you made for this? And like, if so, what else are some of your main inspirations?
Right on. That's a great question. So that's a good question. So I feel like I came back into my artwork full-fledged about 2 years ago. I have been doing music and for about the last 4 years or 5 years now in this band Los Mocochetes, if y'all are familiar with us, we're like doing stuff. And so but with going back into my art, it was kind of like relearning, you know, a lot of things, and like kind of just figuring out what I like and figuring out how to even whatever, you know, like how to even use a brush and like just little things, you know. So I feel like I've made a bunch of studies about a lot of different stuff, like a lot of abstract things as well as a lot of I feel like now more than ever I'm getting into a lot more storytelling within the last like 6 months or so. Has been a lot of storytelling, and it doesn't really have to be like nature centric, but I feel like I definitely do landscapes, you know, and scenes, kind of like a building scene or like a house scene or like, you know, and when I do characters, I feel like they're in a scene of some sort, you know, and like I have a couple where it's just their head, you know, or like, let me see, let me pull some stuff out. So this painting right here, I made not too long ago. So it's kind of like an alleyway. This was right before all the COVID stuff. It's kind of like a guy giving tequila to a rat. And so it's like, it's kind of this like feeling of like solidarity, you know? Well, it's like watching the world burn in a way. It's like crazy, you know, like, but it's like also like really fighting or not fighting, but really going within this idea of duality, right? What's right and what's wrong, and like the guy giving to the rat, you know, is like a gesture of like good intention, you know, but like then it's like, is it even good, you know, like, and it's like you know, so just like really trying to get into those like the gray area, you know. So this painting right here is just a character. This one was a study of like the red people. A lot of the last couple of paintings I've been doing, it's like the skin tone is red. I've been really trying to stick to like I don't know what to call it, like primary colors, you know, as my base, and not so with that primary colors, you know, blue skin doesn't work really for me, and yellow skin doesn't either, you know, so red skin, you know. And so working that out. The gesture itself, like it looking at the character looking at the hand, has two meanings. So one, it's like looking at yourself and like self-analyzation, self-refinement, like trying to get better, like who am I, you know what I'm saying? But also it's like in theater or in art, I like to call it, or it's called breaking the fourth wall. So what I mean by that is like, so there's one wall here, one wall here, one wall here, and then the front wall, you know, when you go off stage, that's breaking the fourth wall. And so like, I think about it like, it's like coming back, you know, so it's like breaking that fourth wall, but also it's like creating a new dimension where it's like, to the side, you know, and it's like, implying that there's space like sideways as well. You know, it's not just flat, like the hand isn't just flat like this, you know, it's not just two-dimensional, it becomes three-dimensional. So like, super thankful about that. Like, I went to Japan, and that really, really inspired a lot of my art. Going to Japan, what really inspired me was seeing Miyazaki, Hisako Miyazaki, I believe his name is, and like he like directed the movie Spirited Away and Princess Mononoke and so many others. And he has a museum called the Ghibli House, and it's super beautiful. Like the upstairs has a recreation of his studio during the time when he was making the movies. So like it's just like this like desk cluttered with like references and like cluttered with sketches and stuff, and like pencils, like thousands of pencils, like all like sharpened all the way down, you know, and just like it just showed me the level of commitment, you know, to the process that is possible. And like like he had this whole room that was only plant studies, so he would do studies on like just different, they look like biological drawings, you know, in order to reference it correctly inside of the film, you know, as well as like in a frying, like he would do studies on like an egg frying in a pan, you know, and throughout the different parts of how cooked it was, you know, how it looked, and then how how it looked when the temperature was too hot, you know, and how it looked when the temperature was like, it was just so many studies. I was like, dang, like he truly just was in love with the process more than he was the product, you know? And like, I feel like that really kicked off a big journey for me, because it was like, I'm not rushed about anything anymore. I'm just super thankful to even be on this journey, you know? So, and I'm super thankful for people that support it, you know, support my journey and my place, you know, in this. So.
I just want to say something. Diego is like a super cherished person in our community. We do like prayer runs together, and we hella cherish this person right here, just because of like, I feel like your guidance, like your leadership, and like, I don't know, I feel like you're so positive and good, and I really am thankful for you to be here today. I appreciate your work, and I appreciate like, oh my gosh, I don't know. I think it's so important to like appreciate like our young men, because no one does, I feel like sometimes.
That's super beautiful, Sola. Thank you for saying that. That reminds me of the Peace and Dignity Run. So the Peace and Dignity Run is a run that happens every 4 years, and that run is in commemoration to and in devotion to water and the reunification of the Americas, as well as preserving indigenous cultures, stories, and prayers. And so that run starts at the very tip of Alaska, and it ends at it ends in the middle of the continent, but people from the south run, and so they meet together in Guatemala or in Costa Rica, or depends on different places. Like Mexico City, they've also met at the Sun Pyramid. mood pyramid. So the reason why I bring that up is because our prayer troop that we are a part of, Soledad, Esperanza, and I, and other people here in the Denver community are a part of. It's called Nawi Odin, and Nawi Odin is a spiritual run that happens every turn of the season, and so each turn of the season we pray for a different group of people, and so this season, believe it or not, is the young men, you know, like the season for the men. So like the springtime is for the men, and like my partner and I were super thankful. We have in our community these stabs that hold our prayers. They're like they were given to us from the Sand Creek Massacre community, and from the Sand Creek Massacre prayer run that they do to heal, and they gifted us that, and as well as like we have another staff, and the main staff is went intercontinental, you know, on the run that I was talking about, the Peace and Dignity run. And so we run with those, and like every turn of the seasons, we ask a different family to house the staffs and like to pray with them. And like during the wintertime is for the elders. And so during that time, we were asked to have the grandpas in our home, and my partner and I were super duper thankful, you know, like ultra thankful. Like I feel like she spent a lot of time with them during the time of the elders, and like during all this COVID stuff, we weren't able to exchange the stabs again, so they stayed with us. And so it was awesome because I feel like I'm having my opportunity to have that time with them, you know, and like having that time with them, meaning provide like every morning providing a water offering for them, and like just thinking about water in the morning, and like I'm just thinking about like the gift that it is, and like just having those initial intentions in the morning, you know, like has been changing my life, and like been really showing me myself, and like that I need to get up early in the morning, you know, as a young man, you know, as a young person, you know, just be up early and like be on it, and like get to work, you know. So so yeah. So thank you for saying that, Soleil. That reminded me of all of that. So shout out to Nawi Odin, all the Nawi Odin family, as well as like anybody in your traditions, trying to keep your traditions alive, trying to keep your prayers alive, knowing and teaching your medicines, you know, and being able to heal yourselves and your families, because that's important, you know, knowing how to grow your medicines, knowing when to harvest, knowing all of those things is really important. Super thankful because it's springtime, and I'm seeing all the seeds start to sprout in our garden. So like really excited for all the things that are going to be coming soon, the harvest throughout the season. So any more questions?
Doesn't look like it right now, but for real, thank you so much for showing this reciprocity and for wanting to kind of take this project on. Because I remember I'd asked him, I was like, I think a while back, I was like, this is like right after like the last big strike that we had or something, and I was like, I really want a live artist to do some art for us on stage while people are spitting poetry and doing their thing and showing their gifts. I was like, I really want somebody to do a live mural piece. And I have a young man called Donatio, who's kind of like in our circle, and he's an artist. He's like 8, and I was like, you guys, I'm like, I was like, where'd you like the intergenerational aspect of it was coming together, but it was meant to be, and that's okay. In fact, we got this instead, and it's even better than I could imagine.
Right on. Yeah, shout out to Donatio. Yeah, Dona.
Dona. Looks like we have
So,
5 minutes left on this before we're donezo.
okay. I think, how about any last questions, and then I'll share a poem.
If you could maybe just mention again, like where people can follow along on the progress on this, because
Oh yeah,
I'm
totally. Let's.
emotionally attached to it now. I want to see it.
Yeah, same. Like I'm full. I'm like already 20 some hours in, and I'm like, so this is gonna be where I'm gonna be live streaming mostly. So every Friday I do a live stream on my Instagram. It's usually a class or like a talk of some sort, and so that this week actually it was just me working on this. So I think I might make a day during the week, maybe like Wednesday night or something. Don't quote me on it yet, but
Can anyone come to your classes, Diego?
Yeah, yes, they're free. They're live and they're free. All you got to do is just come here. If you'd like to donate to me, to the class, to any of that, here's my Venmo. That's a D, not a 6. DFLOREZARROYO.
Esperanza just posted it in the chat too, if folks want to grab it from there.
Cool, thank you so much. And so I'm gonna be working on this. I do the Instagram class. It's usually about an hour long on Fridays from 12 to 1. Sometimes we hang out longer, shorter. People join and share what they're working on, as well as local artists that I go live with and talk to that I haven't seen in a while, or it's just like a hangout session with me. I'm super thankful for the opportunity to do it, and people have time during the day to check it out. So yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah. So I promised these guys a poem, so I'm gonna speak to you guys a poem. I said I'm a poet, an artist, and a musician. So I'm gonna give you some of that. They once told me, casualties are so casual in today's humanity. That's why I'm on a mission to make peace. Not pieces unless it breaks these concrete thoughts to reveal the secret. See, no matter how much you grew, we all started from seed, kids. You grew like Jack and the Beanstalk did. Who knew that seed was all you needed? See, society's the traps that don't feed in. Just tune into past lives and ancient ruins, because I got the heart of Zapata and the sangre de Villa. Pumping through my veins, I could never be defeated, and neither can you. You see, we are one. You're my sister, my brother, my daughter, my son. It's up to you to live on the dark side or live life being graced by the sun. So grab the bull by the horns and run until you cough up a lung, because if you need to breathe, you always got another lung. Thank you so much. Yeah. Once again, my name is Diego Florez Arroyo from Denver, Colorado. Poet, artist, musician. Thank you so much for tuning in. Check out this painting. Check out 350 Colorado, Earth Day live 20. Maybe we don't have to go live next year, hopefully. So let's do it up again.
A shout out to the Alliance Center, Liliana, Jiva, myself, Amy, all the folks, Tomas, all the folks that helped put this together.
Yeah, for real. That's the truth.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah, and Alina, do you want to maybe drop an email somewhere? Because she just dropped in the chat. She works at a high school in Denver, and if this ends up needing a home, they might be interested. So.
That would be awesome. Yeah, you can go ahead and email me at D Florez, FLOREZ ARROYO @gmail.
Okay, great.
It's
Thank you.
Like my Venmo, but at Gmail.
Okay.
I'll reach out to Shannon at 4 Winds. I'll reach out to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm down to get it where it needs to go, you know, like the creator knows and I just gotta finish it still, so
Awesome.
so please check in on my Instagram. I'll be posting in my stories or something when I'm gonna be doing it, you know, so probably on Facebook as well. So
Great.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
thank you guys. I'm gonna go get some of the food.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm already eating. I'm hungry.
I know. I just want to say thank you again just to everybody. The last 3 days have been nothing short of incredible and moving and full of life and so vibrant. And Esperanza, thank you so much for your leadership through all of this. Like, we can just feel everybody's spirit through all of this. And it's been a really awesome 3 days. I know I'm excited to get some sleep. But again, like any of the content, if folks want to see it from the last couple of days, you can see it on the Colorado Climate Strike Facebook page or on the 350 Colorado Facebook page. They're all there. So definitely check it out and share this video as well. And I'm excited to see the progress on your piece, Diego.
Thank you so much.
I hope you guys
Everyone.
keep going out in the future. I love that. This isn't just staying here, it's continuing.
Yeah, I love it. All right, bye.
All right, y'all. Every day's
Peace
Earth Day. Peace out.
Yeah.
Blessings.